real quick. These guys are no longer losing money. They're making money just as Tumbling. And they have, Marshall, they're the only client we've ever had to podcast every day. Every day they're podcasting. Here they are. So hit the gong. You hit the gong and you do a victory lap. They're going to hit the gong and do a victory lap. Here we go. Oh! Oh! That was good. Go for it. Rusty, you got it. Here we go. There we go. He's going that way. On down. There he is. Here you go, ma'am. Yes. Oh! Oh! Yes. Victory lap. There it is. Yes. Oh. All right. Here she comes. She's going down. Oh, impressive. Not losing money. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Grab the duct tape and mentally prepare yourself for yet another mind-expanding knowledge bomb from America's #1 business coach, Clay Clark.
Arms away.
Yes. Oh, and yes. Andrew, on today's show, we're talking about a subject that I'm passionate about. And that subject is don't just don't, I can't even almost say it. Just don't suck. Just don't suck. Quality leads to quantity. Josh, at Living Water Irrigation, how long have you been doing the Living Water Irrigation business that you started?
We've been in business about 2 years now.
All right, let me just throw it out. I don't know your business in terms of I've never hired you, so I'm just speaking about it just objectively like a block of wood. Like I don't know you. It's a nameless, faceless company. Your company is Living Water Irrigation. Okay, my company's Elephant in the Room. But let's look at it objectively. If you came into the Elephant in the Room today, my business, and you came in and you got a bad haircut, would you come back?
First time in?
Yeah, the first haircut's $1. Would you come back?
No, sir.
Interesting. Andrew, would you come back the first time into a haircut place? The first haircut's $1 and it's a bad experience. Would you come back?
No.
Why?
Because it's a first impression.
This idea escapes a lot of people. Let me give you an example. I was trying to put in a pool. I talked to 2 pool vendors that I thought were good. I called, guys, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making up a number here. I'm not going to say, I can't say I called, dozens of pool companies. I did call at least 10, I would say. I didn't call dozens, though. And I thought I'd call them all and leave a voicemail if they didn't answer. Now, guys, of the people that I called, less than I think 5, maybe 6 of that elite group of 10 called me back at all. Now, this is what's cool. One guy says, I'm going to come out there and get you a quote. My process is I come out there, I'll get you a quote, and I'll tell you what it is. We can talk about if it's fair, and if you want to move forward, we'll do it. I set a specific time to meet on a Saturday. Josh, he didn't show up. Now, I'm just curious, would you hire the person who doesn't show up for the very first interaction?
No, sir.
Interesting. Now, Andrew, two of the companies did show up.
Yep.
On time. 2.
There we go.
We're talking about, guys, out of 10, we're down to 6 that even maybe call you back, and then 2 that show up on time. Guys, sometimes the key to winning is just not sucking. Another example, I got a client I work with who's a dentist, and he said, can you mystery shop other dental practices for me? I'd like to know how they're doing. I said, sure. So I called the competition. There's one dentist. Man, they did a great job, Andrew. I played the calls. Yeah. They record the calls for quality assurance. They answer the phone professionally. They asked how you heard about us. They say, so I asked, how much do you charge? And then they responded, we have a lot of different options, but let me ask you this real quick. How'd you hear about us? They followed the script. Andrew.
So good.
Is it amazing that they're growing?
Yeah, once you follow your system and follow your scripts and follow your processes, you're going to grow. It's imminent.
So, again, I see a lot of mortgage professionals, a lot of real estate agents who get leads and they don't call their leads. Is it shocking that they're not growing when they don't call their leads? Now, Andrew, you have been coaching, consulting, working with clients now for a while.
Yep.
And I know all your clients are great.
Right.
But if you had to speculate, what percentage of the business owners that shadowed and seen, and none of our clients now. We're talking about in the past. Okay,
In the past.
in the very distant
Deep into the past.
What percentage of them just never call their leads? I mean, just ever. I don't think like 160 or so.
65%.
Don't call their leads?
65% do not call their leads.
Really?
I would say.
It's pretty negative.
It is.
But true.
It's very true.
Now, what's cool is all of our clients do call their leads now. We got a great group of people. Now, I like to think about Papa Gallows. They call their leads.
Oh, yeah.
I like to think about Justice Tumbling. They call their leads.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think about Thomas at Full Package Media. They call their leads. I don't like to talk about other people who don't call their leads. Josh, why don't people call their leads?
You know, it's really funny. So, real world example, and this may help somebody out there listening to this show.
Here we go.
At least once or twice a week, I get a job. I sign a contract simply because I show up. Like, not because of the Google reviews, not because of our processes, our
You
systems,
just showed
our
up.
script. Like, I literally just knocked on the door. The homeowner walked around the yard with me and said, well, the other 3 guys never showed up. One never called me back. This guy said he was going to be here. Then he had a flat tire. And then the next time his grandma died. And the third time his grandma died again. And so we'd like to go with you. So this is great. For other contractors out there, if you just show up, just call your leads. Call them back. Say, hey, love to set an appointment with you. Be on time for the appointment. Dress well. I understand we wear boots and jeans when we're contractors, but, you know, maybe don't spill a bucket of paint on you and then go to a sales call.
Now,
So
if I ask for examples, of things that people need to do that will help grow their business, Andrew, they're easy to come up with a ton of examples, but I'm just going to fire off examples.
Yep.
And then Todd, Josh, I'd like for you to explain how implementing this move has helped your company grow.
Yes, sir.
Because these are things that we need to do. We just it's important that we just don't suck. Okay, we have to do it. Okay, so you have to get Google reviews from real clients. You have to gather objective Google reviews from real clients because it's part of the Google algorithm that affects your search engine rank. Someone might say, well, that's not true. I read on a blog. Okay, you're wrong. But the point is, when you get reviews, how has that helped your company?
So undeniably daily, so unlike the other one where we just show up, daily we get jobs solely because of the volume of our reviews. So we have 3 times more reviews than anybody, and all of our 5 stars, which is awesome. But just simply by going out on a daily basis, when we finish a job, we ask for a review, and they give us a review. But not everybody does, but I wish everybody would. So we get reviews, and people simply say, well, we saw the overwhelming amount of 5-star reviews that you have, so we'd like to go with you.
Now, let's think about this. So if I Google search living water irrigation right now,
Yes, sir.
irrigation, Tulsa, living water irrigation, Tulsa, you have 212 reviews. If I Google sprinkler repair, Tulsa, looks like you come up top in Google.
That's affirmative.
Have you grown in the last couple of years since you've been listening to this show and received one-on-one coaching and gone to workshops?
Yeah, so like since before I met you?
Yeah. How, have you grown at all? I mean, at all? Any?
So we have done, what's real world numbers? We're up 700% since the first time I heard you talk.
Now, the no-brainer. The no-brainer. You got to have
Yes,
a no-brainer. A deal's so good that people almost can't say no to it. It's so
Yes, sir.
good. People say, I don't know if I even want to, but I have to. I got to fill out the form. Why not? Might as well. You want the customer to say, might as well. I mean, got nothing to lose here. Since you came up with the no-brainer, since we talked about the no-brainer probably 8 weeks ago here in the
Yes, sir.
studio, can you tell the listeners what your no-brainer is and how it's impacted sales?
So our no-brainer is a $1 service call. So all the competition, including us, charge a arrival fee to come out to your home to take a look at your sprinkler system, to diagnose it and do any repairs. So as opposed to the standard $75 call that we used to have before, a lot of other folks are $85 or $95, somewhere in that area. So now, as opposed to that $75 charge, we charge $8.
Okay, so let me throw this out here for you. A lot of people say to me, they say, Clavis, gosh, I know I need to write the content on my website, but I am so busy and I just don't like to. I have anxiety. I am stressed. I feel overwhelmed. I just don't want to. I want to get the reviews. I want to do it. I do. I want to. I know I want to get reviews. I want to write the content. I want to call my leads. I want to do it. I want to make a no-brainer, but I just have anxiety. I just don't. I'm overwhelmed. I'm all right. Little thought here. Little thought. I've hired a lot of people throughout my lifetime. At this point, over 1,000 probably. And Andrew, every time I hire an employee, I've noticed patterns.
Yep.
Like whenever I hire, I'm a white guy, so I'm gonna rip on white people. Okay. Anytime I've ever hired a white guy, ever, I got a 50-50 chance he's not gonna get it done. White guys. Just in general, white guys, it's a pretty rough group there. Let me tell you why. Entitlement. Daddy had some money. Daddy has a trust fund. Daddy was a doctor. Son doesn't want to work too hard. Son wants to talk back. Son has a degree. Daddy has a degree. Daddy has a degree. Dad paid for your degree. Now you're entitlement. Had a landscaping company. Guess what percentage of the white employees agreed to mow the lawns?
I'm going to be negative and go 0.
Right. Every single one of them want to be a manager. Crazy.
Nice.
Now, I've hired the subset of the white people that I've never had a problem with is Mormons. Every single Mormon I've ever hired just works hard. Work is unto the Lord kind of hard. I'm not a Mormon, but it's unbelievable the work ethic there. It's crazy how they don't say, I have anxiety that keeps me from making phone calls. Yeah, because they're not allowed to drink. I have anxiety. Yeah, because they're not worried about who's pregnant today. Why don't they have anxiety? Yeah, because they're not coming to work trying to quit their newest addiction. Yeah, but why don't they have anxiety? Because they're not trying to stop vaping and dealing with the paranoia and the tension of wanting to find more vape supplies every 5 seconds. Well, why don't they have anxiety? Because they're not trying to kick an addiction. Why don't they have anxiety? Because they're not cheating on their spouse. Why don't they have anxiety? Because they're not dating people they're not married to on the weekends while being married. Why don't they have anxiety? They don't feel cognitive dissonance. You feel bad. It's a consequence. That's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to feel bad when you do the wrong thing. If you know you need to get Google reviews and you don't get Google reviews, you should feel like a pathetic loser because you are a pathetic loser. That's the point. Cause and effect, man. Josh, another thing on your website. I've noticed you decided to put a contact us button on your website, top right there.
Yes, sir.
I've had entrepreneurs fight me going, I don't want to put my phone number on the top left of my site or the contact us button there. And I'm like, why? I don't like it. Everyone does it. You don't like putting your phone number on your site because John doesn't have a megaphone today, but I remember we were dealing with a company in the medical industry that had ads that ran to a page where they would not put their phone number or their address. And they're like, no one's coming to our place. I know, because you're a freaking hospital. God, just unbelievable. I have anxiety. Clay, how do you find time to get it done? Listen, you want to talk about some anxiety? When I write books, I have anxiety. I hate reading and writing, categorically. I hate reading. Am I reading? It takes me forever to read and retain. I am done with reading books and then not knowing what it was about. That was called college. College was cool. I read a book last night. Oh, what'd you get out of it? Some good things. I'm done with going to church and coming back and saying, what'd you get out of it? Some good things. I'm about applying what I learn. Knowledge without application is meaningless. And so if you're out there and you're just listening, you're having the reason why we do this show, free show, is to help you achieve your goals. Now you might be saying, I don't want to achieve my goals. I just like to laugh. Well, it might be the wrong show.
Can I offer something?
Yeah, offer it, please.
So this is what I hear all the time. Well, that wouldn't work in my industry.
My industry.
So you don't understand.
What kind of industries, by the way, have you heard this kinds of these? Because I hear it from my own. I've heard it in a lot of medical. A lot of medical people say, well, I'm a doctor. It just would never work. What kind of industries do you hear this in? Just because there's somebody out there I want to have this issue solved for you.
So there's he used to be competition, not really anymore. Sorry,
Okay.
that was rude.
Okay.
So he didn't think it would work in the sprinkler industry.
Oh, yeah.
Got a guy I just talked to a couple weeks ago who said that's not applicable in the lawn industry.
Oh, my
in mowing
gosh.
yards.
Hey, real quick, on the lawn story.
Yeah.
I had a client, funny story. When we work with clients, a lot of times I help them manage their online reputation. I let them know, hey, we got to get reviews. We got to make sure we got a good review, good reviews from real customers online. And I said, hey, there's somebody on here just hating you every day. Like everybody, somebody's always hating you every day, like a new hater, but like big hater, like they got a lot of time on their hands. And it's not like some of your customers, it's like all of them. So I just need to know, I need to resolve this in this meeting. Why do so many people hate your service? Because for me, typically quality leads to quantity in landscaping and other industries. And they go, well, one of our guys had to pee, so he peed in their lawn. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. And I'm like, was he facing the window at her? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, had you talked to him about not showing his unit? And they go, well, we talked to him. He said he would try, but I guess he just had to go. He's got an overactive bladder or something. And their answer was, we have talked to him about this before, but he must have an overactive bladder or something. Well, the customer's the boss. The customer can fire you. The customer will fire you. The customer is going to fire you just by buying from somebody else. And it was crazy stuff. I'm like, did you actually over-invoice people like they said? Did you actually charge people more than you said? Oh, yeah, but there was a unique situation. I'm like, called every time? Yeah, it's really hard to bid in our industry. It's hard to get accurate quotes. Josh, I mean, I see a lot of landscapers fight me over these things.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I think it's just sheer, to use your term, jackassery.
Oh, jackassery. And the key is you
people
just
flat out don't truly, sincerely want to succeed. They just want to make excuses.
Yeah, just don't suck. Because quality leads to quantity. Let me quote Walt Disney here real quick. I want to end the show on a high note from Walt Disney. He says, whatever you do, do it well. Do it so well that when people see you do it, not peeing in lawns, when people see you do it, they want to come back and see you do it again. Look, honey, somebody's peeing in our backyard. He just showed me his unit. Let's have him do it again. No, that's weird. Look, honey, this company gets bad reviews. We should call them. No. I'm talking about people see you. It says, whatever you do, do it well. Do it so well that when people see you do it, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And they'll want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. That is how it works. Nothing sucks more than sucking. You know what? If you want to be a selfish person today, if you want to be selfish, Andrew, if somebody out there says, I want to be selfish, I want to take a photo of myself, post it myself, a selfie. I want to make as much money on myself for and for my goals for about myself. I said, well, how do I do it? The most selfish thing you can do is to over-deliver every time. Just wow your customers. Even if you hate your customers. Even if it's just a game for you. I worked years ago with a dentist one time. I asked him, I said, you like being a dentist? He goes, I hate it. You hate being a dentist? Ah, yeah, I hate it. Hate the human mouth, actually. Like, why do you do it? A lot of people don't brush their teeth, so it's kind of a gold mine is how I look at it. And you go down that gold mine, you get in there, you're blowing up rock, digging down there looking for gold. People sacrifice their lives to get gold. I only got to go a couple inches, deep in there, but I hate it. I hate that. I hate the human mouth. I'm like, you hate being a dentist? Yep, but I do it. Why? 'Cause it pays a lot. When did you discover the passion for dental school? Never did have the passion. Don't like it at all. But you would have no idea because he's like always happy when patients walk in. Hey, good to see you. How you guys do? Great to see you. Upbeat guy. But I'm like, do you like being a dentist? No. We got into it. I'm like, well, seriously, you don't like it? He's like, Clay, what other job can I work 3.5 days a week and it be respected in my industry? He's like, all of us are closed on Fridays, and we all leave early on Thursdays too. He's like, I work 4 days a week, and I don't even start. My employees get there before me. I just show up for my first patient, and I don't take a lunch. I leave around 3 or 4. I make a ton of money. And I'm like, so that's why you're a dentist? Like, oh, yeah. I was just a young guy, and I realized I make a lot of money. There's gold mine in those teeth, I'm like, God, it's awesome. It's amazing. You don't have to love what you do. I remember I interviewed a guy years ago, a professional athlete, who told me he did not like his pro sport. I won't mention his name because it was kind of a private conversation. But I'm like, you're one of the best of all time at that thing. And he's, I don't like it though. I'm like, so do you ever go now that you're retired and go see the pro game? Do you watch them? Nope, not really. Why? I don't like the game. I don't like it. I just was good at it. Like, you really don't like the game? No, not at all. Well, why'd you do it? Well, you're a freak athlete. You make a lot of money. I can do what I want. Now I don't want to do it because I didn't like doing it then. He's like, what other career could you give up 10 years of your life and retire with millions of dollars in the bank and then do whatever you want? I'm like, it's a good point. So a lot of times you just have to do what you don't want to do. right? Do what you don't want to do. So again, if you want to grow your business, the most selfish thing you could possibly do for yourself this year is to over-deliver. Because when you over-deliver, eventually you will be overpaid. My name's Clay Clark. We'd like to end this show with a boom. Andrew, are you ready?
So ready.
Josh, are you ready?
Absolutely.
We can't do it yet. If you're out there and you live in Tulsa and you have a sprinkler that needs to be repaired, you have a lawn. How many people out there, by show of hands, have a lawn? Put your hands up. Come on. I know you're driving right now going, you can't even see. I can see. All right. I put it up. Come on. Wait. Okay. If you're right there driving your car right now and you have a lawn, put your hand up. Great. Now, if you got $1 in your pocket,
safely.
if you got a dollar in your pocket right now, put your other hand up while driving. No, work with me on this. Seriously, think about this for a second. Now, but pull over in the shoulder when you have both hands up. Time it right. But why do you have to do sprinkler maintenance? Why should you pay the $1 to have somebody just look at it before it blows up every year?
The most important thing is you're just going to save water.
Every year.
I mean, the absolute positive most important thing is just preventing any major breaks, any major problems, so you don't have major repairs and major water loss, and then your yard's dead.
I've seen somebody actually who had a leaking sprinkler system. They didn't know about it for years, and it totally ruined their foundation.
Absolutely.
That's a thing that can happen.
That's a thing.
Had a guy I know fairly well at a big sinkhole. I'm sure you've seen this before, where water's leaking and eroding the soil underneath the surface. Crazy, like car-size sinkhole, like boom. I'm sure you've seen that kind of thing. I've seen that. I've seen a person that had like an animal that got into their, started gnawing away at things and broke it all, and it just collapsed in the winter. I mean, it's $1.
It's $1.
Why would you not? Clay, I live in Michigan. Well, it might be worth it. I don't know. I mean, but go. What's the website there, Josh?
It is livingwaterirrigationok.com.
One more time, because if somebody out there was trying to put the hand up while they're trying to wave the $1, and there's a lot of stuff going on there.
livingwaterirrigationok.com.
All right, well, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.
My name is Josh Wilson. I'm the owner of Living Water Irrigation. So I've been working with Thrive since December of 2017. So the biggest changes we've seen as a company is, first of all, just systematically how we do things, how we present things. Our Google presence is phenomenal. Our website's a million times better. And just the overall accountability and the process by which we're conducting ourselves. So our biggest win since working with Thrive is we literally, March was a record month for us. It was almost twice as much as our biggest month prior to that. In the last week or so, we've closed about $250,000 worth of business. We still have to go dig a bunch of ditches and get it done, but we signed about $250,000 worth of business with the relationships we built, the things that they've implemented through Victoria and Clay and everybody here at Thrive. So I would recommend Thrive to other business owners simply because they can point out where you're flawed and what you need to work on. You just have to be real and honest with yourself on what you need to improve upon. So that would be first and foremost. And the huge reason why I would do it, because it works. It actually, everything that they said when we came in for our initial meeting to today, absolutely positively has been accomplished.
Just how does an irrigation and sprinkler repair company increase in sales by over 450% in just 1 year? When, according to Forbes, 9 out of 10 startups fail and 8 out of 10 existing businesses fail. How can one company grow by 450% in 1 year? Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it is now time for yet another edition of
Wins of the Week!
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working.
You can do it! We are joined by none other than my brother from another mother, Mr. Josh, the founder of Living Water Irrigation. Mr. Josh, welcome onto the show, my friend. How are you?
I am awesome, Clay. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm excited for the listeners to get to know more about you. Could you share the name of your company, a little bit more about what you guys do at Living Water Irrigation, where the name comes from?
Absolutely, positively. So Living Water Irrigation, the most important part of that to me is John 7:38. So it's mentioned in the gospel a number of times, we're the living water. But our specific scripture that we drew our name from is John 7:38. It says, "Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow through him." We have a very distinct vision as a company on who we are and what we want to do. And I believe that I was put here to go make some money to give it away.
And I'm not going to ask you for the specific details of your career and how you started the business as far as a linear timeline, but how long has this particular business been around?
We've been around just 2 years, sir.
2 years. And you guys We first met. How did we first meet?
I came in and y'all started coaching me over at the Thrivetime, over Thrive 15.
And what you remember when that was approximately, and how you first heard about us?
So it would have been October or November of 17.
October or November of 17.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of your growth as a company, how much have you grown this year?
So this year we're up 450% year over year.
So now that you're implementing this program, you're getting more calls, right? Are you getting more calls?
Absolutely.
Sales are going up. You're gathering reviews from your real customers, adding content to the website, adding a gallery of work.
So I'm going to actually take a minute and make you really uncomfortable, Clay.
Nice.
So when we started with y'all, it was awesome. We had a little company, just me and one dude in one little van.
Yeah.
And 17 was great. I ate more than ramen noodles, but not much more.
Right.
18 was really good. We started to implement the systems, got Start Here, got the boom book, went to a couple conferences, and said, okay, I'm going to buy in. I'm going to sell out. We went to the coaching, got coached by Marshall and Victoria, and started to implement, as opposed to just listen, to actually be doers. It's in James. It says don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers as well. And so we implemented scripts. We implemented systems. We implemented checklist. We implemented a pro forma for quoting and all these things that you talk about.
Yeah.
And so just as a real person, and I'm real, I promise you, there's a bunch of Josh Wilsons out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm a famous baseball player and football player.
Oh, wow.
And a gospel singer.
Oh, wow.
But this Josh Wilson just digs ditches for a living. But I just want to say thank you. Standing here for all the systems. I encourage everybody out there, go pick up Start Here. Go pick up the boom book. The stuff you hear on this show, it actually sincerely works. It's not just some nonsensical guy sitting in an awesome man cave who's bored so he wants to record a show. And then from there, here's another super-duper move for you. Schedule your day.
Oh, wait a second. That right there is a hot tip.
Holy cow!
Schedule your day.
So I was listening just a few months ago, and I was running all over the Tulsa metro area, from Glenpool to Owasso to Broken Arrow, back to Owasso, to Jinx,
No.
to Midtown. And I'm like, man, why am I getting nothing done?
Why am I getting nothing done?
Well, your issue is that you're running those places. You got to drive.
Why am I talking using a megaphone? Back to you.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't have this belly if I was running, Jonathan.
Okay.
So my wife says to me, hey, how was your day, honey? Oh, I worked all day. I did all these things. And I'm like, wait, I have nothing to show that I did anything. So super move number one, you've said it 17,000 times.
Yeah.
Whatever gets scheduled gets done. So now my day is scheduled.
Come on now.
So if it's not on my schedule,
Yep.
nope, doesn't happen.
Listen here. Here's a little secret. You can become successful. You have the tools needed to start and grow a successful company. But you've got to implement the best practice systems. You have to implement the proven systems, checklists, and processes that have been shown to work time and time again. And it is very hard for me to help you implement those systems if we don't get a chance to know you. So if you're out there today and you're saying, I feel stuck, I don't know what to do, I would encourage you to go to thrivetimeshow.com today and watch over 1,000. We have over 1,000 video testimonials from real people just like Josh. Watch those videos and build your faith. Believe that you can actually do this. And then do one of three things. One, you could schedule a one-on-one consultation with me by simply going to thrivetimeshow.com and scheduling that free 13-point assessment. Now, our team is going to vet you, make sure you're not psychologically impaired or your dream is not delusional. Now, move number two. You could book your attendance at our in-person Thrive Time Show workshop. The tickets are normally $250, but if you want to attend the workshops because maybe you're in a spot right now where financially you're kind of strapped, just subscribe to the Thrive Time Show podcast and leave us an objective review. And after you leave us an objective review, take a screenshot of the review and email it to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and we'll give you tickets for just $37. Or maybe the Thrive Time Show Business School is the right move for you. Maybe it is. Listen, it's only $19 a month. And when you subscribe to the Thrive Time Show Business School, here's what you get. You get access to a massive amount of videos. We have over 3,000 training videos taught by the world's business leaders. You can watch those videos. That alone has tremendous value. Also, you get to attend one in-person workshop per year. Now, if you think about it, if you go to, Harvard, the average graduate debt sits at around $101,000. If you go to Oral Roberts University, let's say you go to Tulsa University, you're going to spend $35,855 per year. If you go to the Harvard Business School, you're going to spend $66,000 per year. If you go to the Wharton Business School, you're going to spend $64,828 per year. If you subscribe to the Thrivetime Show Business School, it's month to month, and it's as little as $19 a month. Check it out today by going to thrivetimeshow.com. And now, without any further ado, we like to end each and every show in Win of the Week with a boom, because boom stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. And now, without any further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom!
We would have, on average, 1 to 2 a week. And, we're getting...
3 to 4 days.
Yeah, it's just astronomical how many more there are. Now, they are a little bit harder to close in that the people don't know us, but sending them the testimonials and all of those things have really made a difference.
We were doing well by all means, but I'm getting older, and and I hearing all the results that you guys produce, and I'm like, why not me? And it's fantastic is what it is. There's lots and lots of leads. My phone goes nuts. Mark Schmucker with MAS Construction.
My name's April Schmucker, and I work for MAS Construction.
All right, now I'm going to pull up your website so people can follow along at home and check out what we're doing here. That's masconstructionllc.com.
Mostly we're doing garages. I focus on outbuildings more than anything, whether it's detached or attached. We have we've done barns and larger buildings for that matter. And but mostly we just focus on garages. It's just a quick in, out. It's good turnaround.
Like Mark said, mostly we were a referral business before. And so the leads are great. It's a little bit of a different beast in that they're not people that we know. So it's a completely cold market that we're dealing with sales. So that produces its own challenges, but at the same time, it gives us the opportunity to then spread the news about what we do and how well we do it. So it's been really great.
And it definitely helps out a lot to be more systematic. And that's just the start of where I want it to be. I want it to be like you guys have in place. I can give this to someone and here, follow this, and that's the end result. Same as a blueprint. All your answers should be on the blueprint. There shouldn't be having to ask any questions. And that's what I'm striving for, and that's what I want, because I can't do everything. Fantastic. Now I just have to find out a way to get more time out of the day, because it's a good problem. Carter was telling us that, but it's I never had a website. I did everything word of mouth. Why wait? That was me for the longest time, and finally I'm like, I'm just done with this. I pulled over to the side of the road. I know exactly where I was, and I'm like, it was winter, and I'm like, I want to thrive. I see all these people thriving. Why can't it be me? And I'm like, well, I'm going to call them once. And so I did. And I encourage anyone that's looking, and not just do I want, financial freedom, which we're doing okay, but I also want time freedom. And if this is ability to produce time and money, then why not? Or at least just call and try it.
Well, folks, on today's show, we have a wonderful opportunity to introduce you to a wonderful couple. What? This is a wonderful couple. They have a wonderful business. I'm using the word wonderful a lot. And they're experiencing wonderful growth as a result of being diligent. And if you're out there today and you're feeling the slight bit discouraged, I want to leave you with encouragement, empowerment, and specifically walk you through steps that you too can implement if you want to achieve the kinds of results that today's guests, Mark and April, are receiving and with their business. Mark, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Good to be here.
Now, Mark, for anybody out there who may wonder if you're a hologram, what's your first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Mark Schmucker with MAS Construction.
And Mark, who's this wonderful woman next to you here on video?
That is my wife, April, that I have been blessed with, and she's helped me out a lot.
Now, April, for anybody out there that's not familiar with you, just to prove you're not a hologram, could you share with us your first and last name and the name of your company?
My name's April Schmucker, and I work for MAS Construction.
All right. And I'm going to pull up your website so people can follow along at home and check out what we're doing here. That's masconstructionllc.com. Mark, I'll start with you. If you could tell us a little bit here, what services do you guys provide with your company, masconstructionllc.com?
Mostly we're doing garages. I focus on outbuildings more than anything, whether it's detached or attached. We have large, we've done barns and larger buildings for that matter. And but mostly we just focus on garages. It's just a quick in, out. It's good turnaround.
Now, you guys seem to be very normal people. April, how would you describe yourselves? I mean, you seem very normal. I think a lot of people feel like, man, I can't have success because I'm not like April. I'm not like Mark. I don't have what it takes. How would you describe your role in the business?
So my role is mainly administrative. I do a lot of the office work and the financials. I work in taxes as well as work with MAS. So I'm a homeschooling mom. So we have a lot going on here at the house.
And Mark, how would you describe your role with the business?
At this point here, more than anything, I am just conducting it, like with sales. I'm just doing a lot, meeting the clients and all that stuff, which I really enjoy. I mean, there's a large spectrum of people that you meet, good or bad, but mostly it's dealing with the people.
And if you had to clarify, Mark, what you do or what industry you're in, would you call it home remodeling or home building, or how would you describe what you do?
I don't exactly know because mostly I did a lot of home building, but it's I just kind of got out of that. It's too many things, and it's and I just focus on easier like in out. So I guess a builder more than anything.
Now, April, how did you first come in contact with our team here? How did you first hear about the Thrivetime Show team?
So that's kind of a funny story. I first heard about you when Mark said, "Oh, by the way, I set us up with an interview with Clay Clark." And I was like, "What? Who is that?" And so I hadn't heard of Thrive Time. Mark, he's on the road a lot with meeting clients, and so he listens to your show. I am not a podcast listener, and so he's like, you've got to hear what this guy has to say. And I was like, oh, okay. And from my background, I did marketing for another business. And so I was like, well, I can do all of that stuff. And it's like, but if you don't have to, when you already have so much on your plate, wouldn't it be awesome to have someone else take that?
Now, I have a homework assignment for you, April, and you can please feel free to rebuke me, but this is a fun family homework project, okay? I just put out a show, and I think you'll like this show. I can't say you'll like other shows, but I think you'll like this show. This is when I just interviewed a guy named Randy, who he and his wife, they bought a former abandoned amusement park so they bought what was once a former amusement park on a lake, and they renovated it into one of the most successful Colorado-style mountain wedding venues in America. It's awesome. It's in Oklahoma. And I interview him about it. So if you are going to watch one show, April, that's the one that I would encourage you to watch. Okay, so you can feel free to reject me there. Now, as far as growing your company, I wanted to just unpack the things that we're doing that it's producing results. First thing, Mark, it appears as though we're now generating some website leads for you, whereas in the past you were not getting internet leads, or maybe that's wrong. Could you maybe describe the impact that having a proven search engine system and team working for you has made on your business?
Fantastic. Now I just had to find out a way to get more time out of the day because it's a good problem. Carter was telling us that, but it's I never had a website. I did everything word of mouth, and we were doing well by all means, but I'm getting older, and and I hearing all the results that you guys produce, and I'm like, why not me? And it's fantastic is what it is. There's lots and lots of leads. My phone goes nuts.
How would you describe, April, your perspective to the leads that you're now receiving?
I would say, like Mark said, mostly we were a referral business before. And so the leads are great. It's a little bit of a different beast in that they're not people that we know. So it's a completely cold market that we're dealing with sales. So that produces its own challenges, but at the same time, it gives us the opportunity to then spread the news about what we do and how well we do it. So it's been really great.
Now, this might just be my perception, but you're so freaking likable, you guys. You're so nice. You're so kind that I feel like the cold leads will turn into word of mouth. Maybe I'm wrong. Mark, have you seen that yet where you've had a cold lead and then it's turned into a referral of a warm lead?
For sure, I do have that. I mean, I don't have nothing where I set it in, but I do get referrals. It just, and I'm thinking of this one client. It was all off of a sign. Then I got this person, then this person, and to this day, I've done a couple 100,000 with them with this client, all off of referrals and leads. It definitely grows.
Now let's get into how we do that. What I try to do for wonderful clients like you, because I know you're homeschooling. I know you're, by the way, we have 5 kids and my wife homeschooled too. So I get that energy. I understand the urgency of making sure your kids grow up to love the Lord and know how to read and do math. And so I get the urgency of that. So I try to build a system that is turnkey, that's duplicatable, that's repeatable, that requires minimal thought and maximum results. Mark, I want to get your thoughts on this because I see a lot of people that have successful internet marketing programs in place, but it requires them to take a lot of steps and to do a lot of the work. Could you talk about the turnkey nature or the lack thereof of the turnkey nature of the system that we've been teaching you guys?
I definitely like it. And I was even telling April, like a lot of this stuff here, like it's all in my head. I couldn't just have someone just do this here because I have to make it systematic. And already with April's help and yourself, like let's say I go to Cleveland for the day. That's I try to do it just a day instead of every day one appointment. Book it all in one day, be more time efficient. And it definitely helps out a lot to be more systematic. And that's just the start of where I want it to be. I want it to be like you guys have in place. I can give this to someone and here, follow this, and that's the end result. Same as a blueprint. All your answers should be on the blueprint. There shouldn't be having to ask any questions. And that's what I'm striving for, and that's what I want because I can't do everything.
If you had to describe the amount of leads you're getting now versus the number of leads you used to get off the website there, Mark, how would you describe that?
I don't even know how you're putting percentage. April would tell it's.
We would have on average 1 to 2 a week. And I mean, we're getting what,
3 to 4 a day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just astronomical how many more there are. Now, they are a little bit harder to close in that the people don't know us, but sending them the testimonials and all of those things have really made a difference.
How old's your oldest kid there, April? You'd probably know this more than Mark. I'm just kidding. How old's your oldest kid?
No, you're not.
So my oldest son is 21.
Okay. Well, okay. So I want you to see if you can connect with me on this. We have 5 great kids, and my son is graduating from high school next week, you know?
Yeah.
And so you know the mom emotion where you're excited, but you're also kind of sad or whatever that is, you know? And so my wife is like just seconds away from crying at all times. Any moment, she's like, oh, it's so good. But, you know, his last band performance, tears. Last day of school, normal school, tears. And so we're having his graduation event tomorrow. And my wife doesn't know this, but hopefully she won't hear the show until later. But I called her best friend from college, and she lives in Florida now. I said, Sharita, you got to fly out. You got to be here. You got to be here. You got to assist my wife with this graduation party thing because it's starting to wear me out a little bit. And I knew that my wife doesn't know yet. She doesn't know, but her best friend's flying in here in like an hour. But I know my wife's best friend, and I know the relationship they've had since college. And I already know that those two are going to click. And Sharita's going to help my wife with all of the graduation details. And all of a sudden, it'll be a breath of fresh air. She'll be relieved. And I know that. And people that know Sharita know that. But you guys are hearing this name for the first time. And I think a lot of customers feel the same way. It's like, I have massive confidence in a woman named Sharita being my wife's best friend. It's going to be great. But if I were to tell you, you know, Sharita's the best thing ever, you'd be like, who is Sharita? Do we have some references? Why are we? And I think people forget we're dealing with other people that have the same concerns that we have before buying something. Could you talk about the social proof, April, and the impact that you've seen it's made, the impact you've seen it's make in your husband's ability to sell, having testimonials, video reviews, video testimonials, Google reviews? Could you talk about the impact you've seen it make in his sales?
Yeah, so kind of like what Mark was saying with our that particular client, one of the reasons why they want to go with us is they like what they see on the Google reviews. We've got all 5-star reviews. We really strive to do everything possible to get those, when we get a review, to make sure that it is 5-star by showing up on time, making sure that we're communicating with the clients effectively. And doing exactly what we say we're going to do on their invoice. And, that's how you get a good review, by doing what you promise. And so having that as our, a source of integrity for people to look at and say, you know what, these guys seem like they really back up what they're saying. It's not just a pie in the sky promise. And I think that really has led to a lot of our web leads. They look at our Google page and then they find our website from that, and then they contact us to do a job.
Now, Mark, eventually someone has to buy something, so once we generate leads, I always tell people, they say, what do you do as a business coach? Well, step one is we got to do marketing, or you might call that offense. We have to generate leads, and branding, marketing, logos, photography, video, web, all that stuff can be called offense. That's generating leads. However, the second phase of this is you're going to have to eventually sell something. Somebody has to buy something. Could you talk about any of the sales systems? I know we now have reviews we can show people. We have testimonials we can show people. We're gathering more and more examples of our work to show people. Could you talk about any of these sales systems that you're now using that has helped you, Mark, close more deals?
So I'm hearing that from a lot of clients, because I asked them, like, well, how'd you hear from me or whatever? And they Google search Garage Builder because it's a market out there for it.
So we're coming up now, top of the search results. People find you. That's step one. We got to get in front of people. Step two, they got to check you out, research you, ultimately buy something. And I want to talk about this idea here of just consolidating your time or time management. As you know, as your wife knows here, because April, as a mom who homeschools, you're officially the hardest working woman in America. If you want the hardest job ever, do the whole mom thing. Plus homeschool. I'm just telling you. So you understand the importance of time management. Could you talk about some of the time management or calendar consolidation that you've seen Mark implement over these past few months?
Yeah. So when Mark, when we first started this year, pretty much if he got a lead, he's a little bit hyper. And so as soon as he'd get a lead, he would be like, okay, I'm coming to see you. And realizing that when you have so many leads, you really do have to narrow it down if you're going to have any family time. So like he had said, we pick a day, a Cleveland day, and he goes and he meets anywhere from 5 to 10 clients in that one day, and looks at all of their jobs. So that way we're not constantly running up to Cleveland. And then the other thing that we've done is he has to have time in the office, where he used to run the crews and he would be out on the job site. Now he's subcontracting out, and so he has to have office time. So he takes the time in the morning, from 5 to 7 in the morning. So that's really helped with managing all of the permits and everything that has to be done, kind of behind the door, as far as all of the estimates, the drawings, the calculations for materials. Going ahead and having a designated time for that has made a huge difference.
Final two questions I have here for you, Mark. For anybody out there that's on the fence, I mean, the whole joy of what I love doing is I love helping people like April. I love helping people like you, because I know you got a great family. So I look at what we do as a real shalom. It's a win-win, where the customer, our client, wins. And then theoretically we win, so I don't hide it. We charge people $1,700 a month, which is a little bit less than the typical personal trainer, but a little bit more than it is an investment, and we make a 20% margin. We make $340 a month profit, and we do photography and video and web and search engine and all that. We also do conferences to help really educate and inspire. But how would you describe the impact that one-on-one coaching has made, Mark, in your business and in your family?
Well, for sure, it holds you accountable. I mean, and I think of what's Carter's first words going to be? My coach is like, what are your wins? And I'm like, well, I better get some wins. And it causes me to think and push myself a little bit more. Like, not that I wouldn't before, but I'll get that. But I'd be procrastinating. I'll get to that. No big deal. And it really isn't, but it also is a big deal because it holds me accountable to do what's needed, and I like it. As much as it may be some new stuff that I'm uncomfortable with, it's a good thing for growth.
Now, April, I'm not putting words in your mouth, so feel free to rebuke me again. My only video I recommend you watch is that Five Oaks video. I think you'll. I have one of my clients. His wife does not watch our show, but she said that video was so encouraging. So it's a really. Hopefully you like it. But I hear a lot from our clients and their spouses. So if I'm working primarily with the female, I'll hear from the husband from time to time. They'll go, "Man, my wife's schedule is much more productive." Or I'll hear from the wives. They'll say, "My husband's schedule is more productive." Have you seen an impact? What kind of impact have you seen the coaching make in your husband's life? It could be bad, it could be good, it could be neutral. I don't know.
I'd say that the biggest thing is that it's caused him to kind of think outside of his normal role and just, where he's very focused on getting the job started. It's kind of made him have to stop and look at, well, if I hire someone to do this, what do I need to do? They would need to have certain systems set in place. And so it's kind of forced him into more of an administrative mindset of how do I make this repeatable? How do I make it a program that can be repeatable by someone else versus him just being a lone ranger and doing it all on his own?
This is powerful. I'm taking notes because the repeatable thing is a big thing. Building your business to be repeatable. Mark, final question for you, and then I'll let you go. I'll stop interrogating you. What do you say to anybody who's kind of on the fence of scheduling a 13-point assessment or was thinking about taking action?
Why wait? I mean, that was me for the longest time, and finally, I'm like, I'm just done with this. I pulled over to the side of the road. I know exactly where I was, and I'm like. It was winter, and I'm like, I want to thrive. I see all these people thrive, and why can't it be me? And I'm like, well, I'm going to call them once. And so I did. And I encourage anyone that's looking and not just do I want, financial freedom, which we're doing okay, but I also want time freedom. And if this is ability to produce time and money, then why not? Or at least just call and try it.
Thank you, one, for homeschooling your kids.
Yeah.
I mean it, because when we do job interviews, I don't ask people, "Hey, were you homeschooled?" I don't ask people that, but I'll tell you this: they'll tell me. They'll go, "Yeah." When they shadow and when they come to work here, they'll eventually tell me. And we had an interesting moment. It was about a year ago, and our staff was talking. I was listening, and the vast majority of our employees at that time were homeschooled. And I never had that. I didn't ask that question, but it was that the critical thinking skills were so high, the ability to connect with other adults, the ability to get things done, time management. So again, thank you guys for what you're doing with your kids. Thank you for what you're doing with your business. And thank you for carving out time for us today. I really do appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him, character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart, and I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good, and then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
Yeah. But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
No, he is. He is. Yeah. And it's for the folks that aren't familiar with you and probably few and far between, I first came across you, gosh, probably 15 years ago, or maybe even